Is Africa a good place to invest in or retire to? Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me go through southern region of Africa. I am now in my third country, which is Zambia, where I am putting in for permanent residence. And most importantly, you've been seeing me talk about the 3 areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And so in today's video, I really want to talk about, are there real opportunities here in Africa? What are they? And is this a place you may want to come to and invest in or retire to like I'm doing? So let's go ahead and dig into it. Now, this is a beautiful thing. One, coming back to Africa is a spiritual awakening. I'm not going to lie to you. There's just something about the energy here coming as a Black American. And it's been very releasing and freeing for me, especially on a spiritual level. Now, most importantly, I'm a businessman after someone who was building a successful online business. Then after my wife passed away, lost everything because it was in her name. I am focused on making money. So I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not going to act like, oh, I'm just here for the spiritual. I am here to get rich, point blank. I am here to get rich. There's money to be made in this continent. And why not get a part of that money? I don't know about you, but I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines. I'm tired of wishing and hoping for an opportunity. And I started realizing I'm going to have to just go find it. That American dream was not in America for me. So I went looking for my dream, and Africa is the place that I have found. Now, with that being said, the average person who hears that, they're going to be like, well, that's easy for you because you're coming with American dollars. It's a higher currency. And yes, it is easier for me right now. However, what you have to understand is everything works in stages and levels. And because of what happened with 2020 and the whole world shut down, you have to think about that. Once the world shuts down and stops working, how does it start back? It doesn't start back overnight. Because one of the things that happened, which a lot of people are not aware of, especially within places like the United States and the UK, when everything had to shut down and the people who didn't need to go to work didn't have to go to work, most companies started realizing people can work from home. If they have a decent enough internet connection, which most of the world does if they're not restricting the internet, you can actually work from home. Now, the beautiful thing about this is you can actually pay people to work more money to work from home than coming to an office. And here's the reason why companies started doing that. They're no longer paying overhead for these expensive buildings. They're no longer paying electricity bills. They don't have to pay insurance for that business in case something happens. They don't have to maintain that business anymore, that building. So now when everything has started switching to the electronic or the digital world, it has now created new opportunities globally. Whereas some people used to have to go to the United States or to the UK to actually do these jobs, they now can do them in the comfort of their home country. And the only thing that they need is internet access and at an affordable cost to where they can still make a living. And so the reason why I'm explaining that is there's going to come a time for the people who may not be making dollars to start earning more money. But it depends on where your country is, different economical factors. Like there's a lot more into that. And those things are more done by design. Without going into too much detail, it sounds like a conspiracy theories. But the way certain countries are developing things like that, that's all based off of design. Now, most people may be like, well, you're in Africa, it's not very developed, so why would people be going back there? Or why would these countries start having these opportunities all of a sudden? Once the world collapsed, that economic system, once they shut it down, that economic system collapsed underneath it. Most of that is what we're seeing now from the housing market crashes. All of these super inflated GDPs of different countries and things like this, overinflated loans, having loans on top of loans and letting people do reverse mortgages and all of these things. All of these bad financial practices have now caught up to them. When people cannot pay their loans, what happens next? You start redistributing wealth. And with part of the redistribution of wealth, is jobs start to change, jobs start moving. If you look at the United States from the early 1920s to where they were a manufacturing powerhouse to where they are now, everything is made in China, including United States flags. Like that's the funniest thing you'll see. Like even if you see those people who are diehard patriots, don't tread on me flag, it's made usually in China because it's no longer affordable to make and produce goods in the United States. They usually come at an inflated price, depending on what type of goods they are. And so, what that does when those things happen, where do the jobs go? They go into the more lower economic producing countries because it's going to be a cheaper labor force, but you're coming in at a higher minimum wage. And one of the beautiful things about that is what's been probably the most neglected piece of land, or at least the last 200 to 300 years, Mother Africa. And now it's going to bring all of these opportunities here on top of where are most of the resources in the world? Mother Africa. It has to bring, things have to come back here now. The development has to be done here. And like I've been in Zambia for 2 weeks now and seeing how the Chinese government and businesses are building here and they're actually uh, putting money into the economy here, it's amazing. Like if you could see from how I'm seeing it from my perspective, like you can see 10, 15 years from now how this is going to be a high tech city, how it's going to be a big booming city with full of people. And so because I can see that, it shows me different opportunities out here that maybe the average ordinary person can't see. And the reason doesn't mean that they're not intelligent or anything like that. It means you're too caught up in the workforce to see the things that are going on at a different level. And this is just, let me just be honest with you. This is the whole part of the schooling system and the whole part of the job system. It keeps a lot of us from being able to build wealth. Like, when are business meetings made to start making money? When are investment seminars going? 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. There's a reason why most of us have been forced to work those schedules. Because if you don't have that time off, how are you ever going to get the information to see how to truly make money within your country? And I didn't start learning this until I left the United States. When I left the United States and I had 24 hours of my day, I was able to start investing in going to these seminars, start listening to all of these different things, seeing, okay, who are the industry leaders? Who are the people that are understanding the things? Who are the people with the inside connections? And they're sharing the information also. Because one of the things we have to understand that we cannot keep following people who want to gatekeep information. Anybody who's trying to gatekeep information from you and just keep selling you courses or, hey, do this program, do this program, they're not helping. They're not helping you. They're just lining their pockets. And we're in a place now where it's about action. It's about what can you do. Like I've been listening to Grant Cardone's seminar where he's been talking about real estate. That is something that is really passionate about me. And I really want to get into real estate. Coming from a person as a Black American who I've owned a home, but like I never had that true opportunity to like be a homeowner, like own multiple properties, be able to have rental income set up, buy a fourplex or a duplex or get an apartment building. And now seeing that I can have that opportunity based off of where I'm at and understanding how certain market streams are going right now, it's a beautiful and empowering thing. And so let me just give you the rundown of it. So one of the things that Grant Cardone was talking about on the seminar that he's educating is like the collapse of the multifamily home in America is something that is just going ridiculous. You can literally now, they just made it to where you could buy a fourplex or an eightplex for the same price of a multifamily home. And when I say multifamily home, that means a husband and wife and some kids. So we're talking about one property where you can buy 4 to 8 properties that are producing you income. We're talking about now generational wealth. And so if that's going on in America, that people are now abandoning multifamily homes, How many people now are doing car living in their van? How many people are doing tiny home conversions? How many people are just going completely off grid? There's a change in what's going on with the pattern. And the pattern is because of the digital era and now the way people are working. Now people are realizing they don't need all of this unnecessary extra space. And because they're spending so much more money for this extra space, they're realizing, look, I can have my own personal space and I don't need much. And that's not only an American thing. How many people, no matter where they live in the world, they want to have their own space. So, like, we all value our own space and privacy now. But how can we get it if the multi-family home is not the model anymore? And so, what I was understanding from, okay, because I say Zambia, from a real estate perspective, it's about 60, 70 years behind the US. We're taking it almost to the 1950s or 1940s, somewhere around in that area. What were they mainly building at that time? That's when they started building duplexes and fourplexes and eightplexes. Now, it was a progression through, but that's when it first started. People were renting back then. Home ownership was not a marketable thing yet. So because they wasn't marketing home loans, mortgages, and things like that, people were comfortable renting, and they didn't have a problem with it. And so, what could I do here in Zambia that could model what was going on in the U.S. at that time? But think about it from a larger scale perspective with the information that I know that's going on in the United States today. And let me know what you think in the comments. So, if you said tiny homes, you are correct. How many people around the world, students or just single adults, like will just be able to live in their own tiny home and just build these type of communities? The beautiful thing about it is it doesn't take much land. So now when you're in a place where you can capitalize off the land, because you can get it at affordable prices, not over exaggerated prices like some parts of the world, you now have a model that you can work with. And the beautiful thing about it is you're projecting this about 20 years out anyway. When you're dealing with real estate, you're not looking at right now today. You're doing a projection of at least 20 years out. And in truth, you should be looking for your offspring to be producing money off of this, not even for you. And this is the thing that I'm loving about it because I see the opportunity. I'm thinking about where things are going to be in 2040 for Zambia. Where's the southern region of Africa going to be 2050, 2060? What's going to happen when borders start opening up through African countries and now people can migrate easily and they don't have all of these restrictions against them from the old colonial constitutions that was forced upon them through their freedom. And that is the beauty of Africa. Like, if you're a visionary, you're a futurist, and you're looking towards the future, you want to come here and invest. You want to start setting up roots here. Like, if you're someone who's a military retiree or a government pension, I highly recommend coming here. It's beautiful. It's safe. There are opportunities here, especially if you're thinking for the next generation. Now, if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme, I don't know about those. I don't work with those. From every get rich quick scheme that I've seen throughout my life, it don't end well for people. So I don't do get rich quick, but I do learning, analyzing, and utilizing my knowledge of being in military intelligence, using those skill sets that they gave me and they taught me, and now using it from a business perspective. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Like, if you're looking to invest in Africa, make sure you follow my channel, Jason Cheney 777. If you want to know more about Zambia, make sure you follow me on TikTok at Jason Cheney 777. I will be creating content out there. I'm going to be showing you what the city looks like, and also let you see as I'm going through the country and showing you different areas. And on top of that, you'll also be able to see as I'm starting to look for land personally to start buying up and start collecting. You'll be able to see as I'm going through those steps. So if you have any questions, that way you can probably get those answered firsthand from the video as I'm going through it.